Planting time has finally arrived. It is now the 1st of May, which is the perfect time for planting peanuts. The crops need to be planted at this time because the growing season is 5 months long, at the end of which is October. October can bring frost, which could potentially damage freshly dug peanuts to the point wherein they become inedible. Now about 2 weeks has passed since planting, and the peanuts are off to a good start. The seeds germinated and are growing at a good pace. While the peanuts are growing, there are several tasks which will need to be completed in the fields over the course of the next few months. Among these tasks is the application of land plaster, which is applied at a rate of 1,000 pounds per acre. Land plaster mainly consists of calcium sulfate, which helps to fertilize the land. Another task which needs to be completed is the spraying of the peanuts with fungicides and insecticides to remove any damaging diseases or insects from the vines. All peanuts planted for the Wakefield Peanut Company are planted for seed, which means all fields will have to be inspected by the Virginia Crop Improvement Association about 3 months from May. The fields are checked for any disease vines and excess weeds. The fields are also checked for vine growth and weather-related stress. If the crops meet the requirements of the inspector, the Wakefield Peanut Company will be notified that the field has passed inspection. Peanuts have been planted now for about 4 months. This has been a very dry summer. Therefore, irrigation is needed to help the peanuts develop into large, mature kernels. In about 4 to 5 weeks, these fields will have been dug. Now it is digging time. These peanuts have been growing for 5 months. They are dug from the ground with this digger, which will dig 4 rows upon each passing. They are inverted for better and quicker drying. After they have been dug, the peanuts need about 5 good sunny days to dry for harvest. These machines are peanut harvesters. They separate the peanuts from the vines. The peanuts go into a large hopper on top of the machine while the vines go out of the back. Once the hopper is full, it is dumped into a drying trailer which has an air plenum and a perforated floor for air circulation. The peanuts are dried in the dryer trailer for 2 to 3 days or until they reach 10% moisture. When the peanuts are finished drying, they will be ready to be taken to the buying station. When the peanuts reach the buying station, they are weighed in and identified by variety and farm number. Next, the peanuts are put under a sampling machine, which draws a sample by vacuum to be graded in order to determine the value of the load. After the load of peanuts is sampled, a 1,700 gram sample is run through the foreign material machine. This separates the peanuts from any foreign materials and loose shelled kernels. The clean peanuts are weighed, and from the clean peanuts, a 500 gram sample is taken for the final grade. This grade determines the price paid to the farmer. When this 500 gram sample is shelled, the hulls are weighed to determine the percentage of hulls, while the kernels are weighed to determine the percentage of sound mature kernels, sound splits, damage, and extra large kernels. The total of these factors must add up to 500 grams, which should equal our original 500 gram sample. The peanut graders are hired by the Federal State Inspection Service. They are trained to grade the peanut, which determines the price the buyer pays. The buyer of the peanuts pays the Federal State Inspection Service $7.95 per net ton for the grading service. The base price, or loan rate, is the price the farmer would receive if he did not have his peanuts contracted or if he was not happy with the price the buyer offered. The farmer could put the peanuts under government loan and they would be stored in a government-approved warehouse, which all buyers must provide. The government loan rate is approximately $355 per ton. When the peanuts that are put under loan are sold, the farmer will receive the selling price minus storage and interest. Most of the time, peanuts are contracted at a much higher price than $355 per ton. Once the grading is done, the peanuts are put into storage or taken to the shelling plant. All peanuts for Wakefield Peanut Company are grown for seed and are field inspected by the Virginia Crop Improvement Association. When reaching the shelling plant, the peanuts are first cleaned by a peanut cleaning machine, which removes rocks, dirt, sticks, and vines. From the cleaning machine, the peanuts go to the sheller, where they are separated into 3 sizes and go into 3 different shelling chambers, which are sized to minimize splitting. Next, the peanuts move on to a vacuum separator, which removes any unshelled peanuts from the shelled ones. From this point, they go to the picking room, where the electric eyes remove undesirable peanuts from the lot. This is done by an air blast when the undesirable peanut passes by the eye. From here, they pass on to a picking table, where they are looked over by a person to make sure nothing is missed by the electric eyes. Any unwanted foreign material, such as sticks or rocks, are hand-picked at this process. After picking, the peanuts go into a sizer. This machine screens out the super extra large kernels, which are used for our products. Some are blanched for our gourmet peanuts, while the rest of the peanuts go into seed. To begin the cooking process, the peanuts are first weighed into 12-pound batches. Then, the peanuts are soaked in very hot water for 30 minutes. After the time soaking, the water is drained and the peanuts are cooked at 325 degrees for approximately 6 minutes. After cooking, the peanuts are poured onto flat metal trays which are lined with several thicknesses of paper towels. The peanuts are left to cool at room temperature. It is at this stage of the cooking process that salt is sprinkled over the cooling peanuts. Once the peanuts have cooled to room temperature, the packaging process starts. The peanuts are usually packaged into 4 different sizes: 4-ounce foil bags, 10-ounce tins, 22-ounce tins, and 40-ounce tins. The peanuts are poured into the bottomless tin, and an oxygen absorber is placed in the tin behind the peanuts. This absorber will extract the oxygen and pull a vacuum on each tin for a longer shelf life. From here, the tins are labeled, packaged into cartons, and sent into cold storage until sold. We would like to thank Paul Rogers and Paul Rogers Jr. of Rogers Farm and Henry Goodrich for allowing us to film the entire peanut growing and harvesting process on their farms.